Okay, back to the usual spot. So after I left the video, we went to Jasper's, which is a nice cafe I've been wanting to visit for a while. I took Mum there. Mum was really anxious about going in, but when we got in there, Mum relaxed. Mum really enjoyed it. Mum got on well with the staff there and ended up chatting with the staff before we left, so we had a good time. Maybe I could put some pictures up now. Where was I? I was talking about going to North Wales. Okay, I was talking about the phones I had because, yeah, a couple of days before we went to North Wales in 2017, I broke my phone. I dropped it on the floor and smashed it. So that's why we initially stopped in Merthyr Tydfil, because I went into Tesco's and I was going to ask about getting a tablet or a cheap phone or something. And I ended up not buying anything because I wanted to save my money. I didn't have much money at the time and I was spending it all on a holiday, even though we were only going for 3 nights. So I didn't buy anything. But we had breakfast in Merthyr, in Costa in Merthyr. And it turns out I didn't even miss the phone. I didn't miss the phone at all. I thoroughly enjoyed the trip. So I didn't miss the phone at all. And for the 3 nights we were there, like the first night we walked around Porthmadog and we ate in Spooners every night. And when we went in September, we always ate in Spooners in the night. And Spooners is really nice. But we're talking about the trip. The trip was brilliant because what I did is people know now that all the times and positions I got to be in order to make the trip a challenge, or so I do like a flight plan and contingencies, so I know what everything's going to happen, and I enjoy going through those plans. And what I ended up doing is I recorded a list of all landmarks we pass, and I put this on the list because Mum likes looking out the window and wants something to do. So I made this list, and Mum really enjoyed that. Mum really enjoyed going through this list and looking at landmarks and when we're passing them. Some were hard. Like on one of the roads, there's an otter sculpture, and it's up on the embankment, and you can see an otter sculpture, and so that was hard to see. So some of the landmarks were hard to see, but other things like churches and towns, they were good. Sorry, I'm still getting the issues. My skin issues. I have the rest of my coffee. So when we were in Jasper's, I had an Americano and a tea cake and a shortbread. So I made that itinerary for Mum, and Mum really enjoyed that. Yeah, it's like a skin issue. I can just feel a spike going into my skin by here, and I don't know where it is. It seems to move around. It's not in the same spot. It's really irritating. I might have some of my hydrocortisone cream. But that was a good day. That was a good trip. Because it was the unknown for me. Although I've been driving for a long time, I haven't had the money, and I haven't had a car in condition to do sort of journeys like that. And I never had the money. The main thing is because I spent 10.5 years in a dead-end job, barely surviving, and suffering with so much depression. I couldn't do anything, and just bringing myself, it was like normal people are not going to understand. Oh, it's just North Wales. It's just North Wales. But to me, it was a massive thing because I hadn't been on a holiday for such a long time at that point. I hadn't been on a holiday for... The last holiday I had was 2 nights in... 2 nights, was it 3 nights? In a rented caravan in 2005. So anywhere between 2005 and 2017, I never had a holiday. Now, 2005 was just my dad and me going to a caravan that my grandparents rented. I never had any money in those in that sort of era. So 2017 was a big thing for me. And it was just like 3 nights in Porthmadog in a cheap but very, very nice bed and breakfast, Bluebird House Hotel. I went on the railways. I took my cameras and I wanted to photograph an old mill, which I ended up photographing. Yeah, because someone sent me a photograph once and saying this reminded me as a birthday thing on social media once, and someone sent me a photograph, said, yeah, it reminded me of you, and the mill just happened to be, I found the mill. It's near Bethgalet, which is not far from Porthmadog, and so I went and found this old ruined mill and took a picture of it. You know, tried to get the same position, the same location as the photograph I was sent, the old photograph I was sent. Yeah, I found the mill. But yeah, it was a really, really big thing for me. You know, building up the money to pay for food in Spooners. Or the first night we didn't go to Spooners. Actually, the first night we went to the chippy one day. We went to the chip shop. I know that because Mum dropped us chips on the floor, and they gave us another bag of chips. That's what happened. And then the rest of the time we went to Spooners. The other 2 nights we went to Spooners. And then when we went up in the September, we went to Spooners again. Because when we went in the March, that was the first day of opening that the Welsh Highland Railway had for that season, and we went on some of the first trains, or the first train. There's hardly anyone on it. There was some people on it, though. There was some people on it. Yeah, and they let me go and go onto the footplate of one of the big garrets. So they let me go and have a look. Let me go and have a look. I wish I had more confidence. I would have stayed there and asked a few more questions. Yeah. I got to go back to playing Derail Valley as well, haven't I? I haven't played that for a few months. It was a good trip. It was a good trip. Because I really enjoy driving and just going to new places. Just going to new places and going to new locations. Just seeing new views and vistas. I love driving. I love traveling. But driving is a little bit better because you've got your own control. You can stop and start when you want, and you can go when you want, and you can change. You're not reliant on anyone else. I really want to do the Lake District, and I want to do the north coast of Scotland. I probably won't follow the NC 500 if I did the north coast of Scotland. I would make my own journey and make my own route. I really want to go to Oban, stay in Oban. I want to go up to Skye, go across the Skye Bridge, take photographs of different locations, and with massive vistas behind in the car there. But if I had a huge amount of money, I would get a car like a SLR McLaren. I talk about a huge amount of money, and ship it to the States, and then drive around the whole of the States, the United States. It would be great to have someone beside me if I did that. Wouldn't it? Yeah. It's like the ultimate dream, isn't it? Right. Ship your car, which will have to be an SLR McLaren or something like that, into New York or Boston or Newark or something, and then drive down to Philadelphia, pick her up, and then we spent 2 months driving around the States, or more even, visiting different cities every day, different vistas, different locations, traveling, journeying, having adventures. Yeah, out of all my trips, that's one that always comes to mind. I mean, I've done a few car trips, but I've not done as many car trips as I want because, again, like I said, I haven't had the money and I haven't had a car that's always in a good enough condition. The car needs a service. It's got some noises and rattles which I would like to have investigated now. It needs a service. It probably needs new tyres. But I don't have the money right now. I don't have the money. I don't have the income. I would rather take the Paseo. If I was going on my own, I'd take the Paseo, I think. But if I had if I went to the Lake District, I'd probably take Mum up there. But if I went to the north coast of Scotland, I would go on my own. So I don't know whether the car could do the hard knock pass. It's a bit difficult on cars, isn't it? But I think the Paseo could do it. I think the Paseo could do it. Anyway, I was going to talk about other things. Well, I'm not sure about saying anything else. So, okay.